Hi guys, I'm Shmi. Hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today in Miami to visit the collection of 69 Ride or Die. Now we're going to be going to two different locations and you are not going to believe what is coming up in the second spot. Firstly though, you join me here in the Mancave, surrounded by some incredible race cars from the likes of two Indycars. There are 3 World Rally Championship cars. There's also a Dakar Rally car, a NASCAR. You've got some road-going supercars, and you'll also spot in the middle there is a Pagani Zonda Revolucion. That is one of only 5 cars that Pagani ever built, and in fact that car has been around racetracks on 3 different continents. So we're going to be taking a look around and then heading over to the owner's apartment, where, like I said, you won't believe what is there. Hanging in the living room on the wall is a Pagani Zonda R. We're going to be going to check that out shortly, but firstly, let me take you around, show you some of the cars that are on display here, as well as some of the other things that I've found in this fantastic garage. How unbelievably cool is this man cave? Just take a look around the garage. You've got pictures from the Nürburgring on the wall, all of the cars displayed in various areas, the flags, the bits and pieces you'll spot around, some motorbikes as well. Behind this wall are the offices with model cars and the like. But around here, we have got just about everything. The 2 Indycars you can see here, there are some big plans for those coming up as well. If we come on through, past the Pagani Zonda Revolucion, I'm going to talk more about this very shortly. It is a big thanks to 69 Ride or Die for inviting me today to come and have a look and to share this location with you. You've got stacks and stacks of tyres. That is because all of these are actually used and driven, including the 3 World Rally Championship cars, the 2 Toyota Corollas and the Subaru Impreza. Even that go-kart has a story as well, I'll tell you in a second. You've got the Toyota Dakar car, you've got the Chevrolet NASCAR. If we come around this side, we've got a Prage, we've got a Lamborghini Huracan Supertrofeo. If we come past, this is one of only 50 Lamborghini Gallardo Squadra Corsas. It's basically the final car of the Lamborghini Gallardo platform, nicknamed by the owner the Minion. Next to that, the Porsche GT2 RS, and of course you'll have spotted the McLaren Senna, which actually belongs to a friend, currently just on place here until the owner's Pagani Huayra BC comes back from its recent tour around Europe, where I actually was out there too. They went to Sardinia, also drove at Monza, and that will be back here shortly to take the spot of the Senna that we're seeing at the moment. But this is exactly the kind of place that I dream of creating. The pictures that are on the walls, the flooring, the design, all of the different flags for the various manufacturers and things that we're looking at, a collection that tells a story as well. And in the case of this collection, it's very much about racing and driving. The owner uses these cars. This has done, well, we were just going through a list. It's been around COTA, Road Atlanta, Road America, a whole bunch of stuff out here. It's also been in Italy at Monza, at Mugello. It's been on tracks in Argentina. This car has been far and wide and used properly, and maybe, fingers crossed, if I'm super lucky, we can do something with it in the future. But for the moment, let me show you around it if you're not too familiar with what we're actually looking at. The first Pagani was, of course, the Zonda. They created a track-only version called the Zonda R. They then made the Zonda Evolution. They only made one of those before introducing this, the Zonda Revolucion, of which there are only 5. It's got a 6-litre naturally aspirated V12 that makes 800 horsepower. The car weighs only 1,070 kilos. That means the power to weight is 758 horsepower per ton. That figure is extraordinary. Now, as you look around it, it is a Zonda on steroids. It is radical in terms of the aerodynamics, the aggressive design, but it's also finished with a full, completely exposed carbon fiber body, and you will spot how it's actually got the dual tone with the grey or almost silver style around the sides over the wings and the flanks, which looks really, really nice, particularly with those striking satin gold wheels that it has as well. But basically, it's a long body, the extended rear, the smooth aerodynamic effects, even the tail lights are used for aero. You've got all of these additional wings and fins, and actually the upper part of the wing has DRS as well. It can go flatter with a button inside the car, but I can tell you the sound that you get out of those exhaust tailpipes, and actually just look inside the back there at how open it is and how that pipe work is actually beautiful in its own right with that V12, sounds unreal. The Pagani Zonda Revolucion on. I actually went to Pagani before this car was even, the first one was ever revealed, and got to see it and shoot a video with it way back when. But this thing, just to take it in, is totally insane. You've got things, for example, around here, like the Italian flag on those canards. Just look at all of this. Look at everything that's going on, the aggression that's going on around the front. I'm going to show you inside the car as well. Take in some of this too. Look at the seats. Again, the Italian tricolore, the green, white and red used for the seat design. On the steering wheel, all carbon, small. You've got the DRS button here, but very much race car, out and out race car. The built-in cage to the carbon titanium tub that the car has to keep the weight down, but everything is exposed carbon fiber. Everywhere you look, different types of weave, the different materials that are being used in different places. This is just totally crazy. The scoops here, of course, for cooling of the engine. The Revolucion has a larger fin and snorkel up top versus the Zonda R that came before, but the Zonda R at the time was actually a record holder at the Nürburgring, which makes it even cooler that the wall here has some Nürburgring pictures to celebrate that. So this thing, well, it's bonkers, but also here is a little thing that goes alongside it. This is a Pagani go-kart to an extent, nicknamed the Black Mini Minion, to follow on with the theme, and that's actually a Pagani trimmed seat in the go-kart. How cool is that? So the other cars that we're looking at, just to go around and take a look at these, some of them are going to be featured in other things to come in the future, but we've got the NASCAR here. I don't know too much about NASCAR, of course, we don't really have it over in Europe that much, but basically the lightweight body panels over an incredibly stripped out thing inside. This is a Toyota Dakar car from 1999, used in the Dakar. As you can see, lots of maintenance work being done, because these cars get taken to different events. They get used, they get taken out, they get driven. The owner drives them all properly, believe me, seriously properly, and some of the parts go into making some of the things around us here in the garage. I'll show you in a second. So we've got the two Corollas, again, being worked on. These go out to rally stages, get driven and used in those environments. This here, the Subaru Impreza, pretty iconic livery on that. 2004 Rally Monte Carlo, raced by Solberg, the blue with the gold wheels. Next to that, again, we've got the Corolla on this side too. Before we get to the Praga. Now the Praga is an interesting one. It is a track-only car. As you can tell, it's not a specific car created, I think, for any individual race series, but it must be quite an extreme thing to drive when you look at the aero, the very narrow cockpit, the size of it, the teardrop-style cabin, and heard interesting things about those. Next to that, the Lamborghini Huracan Supertrofeo, Lamborghini Supertrofeo race series, in this case though with the lime green camo style design, but who doesn't love a Huracan, particularly one that is massively dialed up. You've also got things that I, well, really like in garages, things like fuel pumps that you can see around Shell and Golf, all the memorabilia. We'll come over actually here in a second. But then next to that, the Lamborghini Gallardo Squadra Corsa. So Lamborghini did a refresh, a facelift you could say, of the Gallardo shortly before they replaced it with the Huracan, and that gave it these new kind of triangular visual effects on the front bumper. Also some changes around the rear, sitting on some Lamborghini tyre cushions here, but just to quickly show you at the back, similar style design that you have around there, recognizable by having this ginormous wing at the back. But this was the final version in different colors for different regions. Here in the North Americas, it was presented in the pearlescent yellow as you see here, but only 50 of those in total that were made. The GT2 RS, I think that needs very little by way of an introduction. Porsche's 700 horsepower track, well, Nürburgring record holding supercar. The thing is absolutely ballistic, and this is a Weissach package, which means you get the exposed carbon fiber, plus it's got a few other unique and individual design details around it. And on the inside, it also has the bucket seats, cage and the harnesses, which I think is pretty rare actually to have that out here in the USA. So that whole lineup, very special. This Senna, just to touch on this, the colour, very much like Tiffany blue, I'm not going to lie. Look at all of the details around it. Gloss carbon fibre effect to finish. It's also got the black wheels, the centre locks and the brake calipers to match, and the interior of it, I can just open this up very quickly. Have a look in there. Look at those details, look at the screen. Oh, it just folded back away on us, but even the lower side of that is finished in the same leather to match. MSO individualization at its very best. What a finish. Even with the stripe, actually, I just noticed over the rear wing. Of course, my Senna, which many of you have been asking about, currently waiting for an update on what's going to be happening next with it back home. But nonetheless, that's very cool to see here as well. Now, also around the garage, spotting all of these extra things. This is what I love. Zonda wheels. More. Other wheels and tyres and different combinations tucked around. The bikes, I'm not particularly a bike guy. I know this is a Honda, what are we, Honda 1000 RR, and then here we have the Ducati 1199 Superleggera, but those things, some seriously high performance bikes sitting alongside the other bits and pieces that are around here. All the flags, Lamborghini, Maserati, Pagani, Bugatti, Aston Martin, Porsche, AMG, Shelby, it goes on and on and on. We've also got, as I said over here, this table is actually made from the suspension components from the Subaru, from spare parts. How cool is that for a coffee table in a man cave? There's an Ayrton Senna model Formula 1 car here, the MP4/4, that is actually stunning as well. And also, I love this a lot, the engine from a Pagani. I think that's a Pagani Huayra engine, is it? Yes, it is, Huayra engine. In any case, it looks stunning. What level of detail that it actually has on it. We've got things like a racing seat from a simulator. There's actually a simulator tucked in over there in the back by the offices. Then we've got table football, the air hockey, some bikes, some pinball tables. This is man cave material. The front bumper, more wheels up top, more bits and pieces, artworks, memorabilias. This is what I love about a car collection. What a cool place this actually is. The storeroom with cleaning materials, all the spare bits and bobs, whatever might be needed. So this is pretty epic. I'm not going to lie. What a collection. But I think there is somewhere else we need to head, and there is something hanging on the wall that I need to show you. So let's whiz on over and have a look before coming back over here. It is time then to show you what is currently in front of me that I'm looking at and can't quite really believe is actually here. But we're in a condo, and as the exposure adjusts with an amazing view out over the sea, but I need to show you this. So let's take a look then at the Pagani in the living room. Check that out. A full carbon fiber body of a Zonda R used as a dividing wall between a living room and a bedroom. Have a look at this though, all the carbon weave, the full body panel. This doesn't have an engine per se. Think of it as a piece of art hanging here to represent the owner's love and passion for Pagani. And check this out, signed as well by all of the team at the very back. This was an idea that was born from Horacio Pagani's mind, the genius that he is. But just look at it, held in place here. Wow, this is absolutely spectacular. And let me just come round to show you the backside of it as well. All carbon fiber on the underbody. This is truly incredible. It's got a frame inside, the carbon body panels, but just hanging there. What a thing. I have never seen something like that before, and I don't think that would exist anywhere else at all. And then with the view to finish it off as well out there, and also just quickly to show you this, a 1:8 scale model of the Huayra BC, the car that I told you about earlier that isn't currently back from its trip across to Europe, but will be at some point before too long. But this, well, also signed. What a lovely thing from Amalgam Models, the 1:8 scale, to finish off that display. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Not bad, hey? Not bad at all. But a couple of other things while we're back here in the garage. You will spot here, for example, the boxes that come with the Zonda Rs. You've got lots of kit and equipment that comes with those. Also, the Huayra BC came with a box of goodies as well. You can just about see that through the windows. Lots and lots of model cars, themed things going on. But just looking around, this is such a cool place. Everything set up completely. The ultimate in man caves. The logos hanging on the walls. I love the Pagani logo up here. I don't think I've seen one of those outside of Pagani. That is very, very nice. HP up top, Horacio Pagani, the man responsible for creating this, the Zonda Revolucion. I think this is really one of the most iconic cars, isn't it? Could you imagine if one of those could ever go on the road? Of course, the Zonda 760s are not exactly far behind, but that is the ultimate. That's the car from an era, and there are only 5 of them, and this one here is driven regularly, used, and driven very hard at that too. So what an opportunity to come and join 69 Ride or Die today, to take a look around the collection here, but also to head to the apartment to see that car on the wall. That's the dream, isn't it, for a car guy? That is the absolute, I think, pinnacle of what you could do, an idea that became reality. Anyway, I'll pop 69 Ride or Die's link down below. Do head over and follow. A huge thanks for the opportunity to come today to see all of this. What a special place and what a visit it's been. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, I appreciate your support an awful lot, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.